mother, Cameron Sterling. I will not allow Cameron to be here today for his reasons. And like his aunt said, we all out of tears. We have nothing else in us to cry about now, because guess what? We all knew what it was, just like y'all knew what it was going to be. But one thing about God that we serve, and if you believe that God that I believe in, he do not sleep, nor do he slumber. So we may not get justice here on this earth, but let me tell you something. You see, when God comes, he's going to come. And we all going to know, because you know why? It may be just this day that Howard Lake say, you know what, it's time for me to be honest. It's time for me to really tell what really happened. You see, because Alton can't tell his story to you nor to me. He's gone. There's no more coming back. So there's not no amount of money on this earth, in this world, that can give those kids back to their father. They took a human away. They took a father away. They took somebody away that did not deserve to be away. The way they killed him was in cold blood. You know it. I know it. But yes, the system has failed us. Yes, we are disappointed. But as a family, we're going to stay strong. And we're going to keep each other prayed up. The devil thought he won, but he didn't.
That was Alton Sterling's baby mama, one of his baby mama. You hear her say at the introduction, I'm Alton Sterling's oldest son's mother. Now, look, I'm not trying to make any people. We have different people with different families and all that. That's become very normal these days. However, let's just be real. We have a proliferation of baby mamas and men. I wouldn't say men, little boys that we think are men who've grown up to believe that they should have multiple kids by multiple baby mamas and not necessarily take care of them. And what Ms. Baby Mama Sterling is trying to do here is she is trying to hit the lotto. See, she's seen a lot of things happen where people like Philando Castile and what's his name, Freddie Gray and Michael Brown Jr. These people have gotten big paydays after the death of their their boyfriends or baby daddies and whatever else. People are getting paid on black angst, on black death. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here is who you're listening to. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. They're frustrated. She's frustrated. Why can't I get my payday? Now, she says, this ain't about the money. I don't care about the money. Do you really believe that she doesn't care about the money? But let's back up a bit. So we've had the decision about Alton Sterling, where they said he got himself killed, and I'm going to explain that story a little bit better. And we've had another story, Stephon Clark, I believe is the kid's name, who was killed in Sacramento, and the black people down there just shutting down basketball games and so on and so forth. But have you noticed anybody burning down cities and getting all in an uproar as they did in the Michael Brown era, the Barack Obama era? No, you didn't. You haven't noticed that, have you? See, that's a sign, folks. I talk often about these signs. I want you to understand what the difference is. What a difference a president makes. See, what Donald Trump said is, this is a local matter. I'm not letting this rise to the level of the nation and, cops are killing black people, etc., etc. Particularly when you know the story. Yeah, I said story. I didn't say story. See, because there's a story behind the Alton Sterling incident. Alton Sterling, born June 14, 1979, death July the 5th of 2016. He died the day after Independence Day. He was known locally in Baton Rouge. By the way, that's the same town where Stormy Daniels got her start. He was known in Baton Rouge as the CD Man. You want to know what the CD Man is? He's the dude that bootlegs CDs and would sell them to you. Or he'd make his own mixtapes is what they call them, and he'd sell them. And he was a criminal. Now, Alton Sterling wasn't just your ordinary criminal. He was a criminal, and his record included violent offenses. The 2009 affidavit of probable cause said that he resisted arrest and a black semi-automatic gun fell from his waistband as arresting officers wrestled him on the ground. Now, the officers who were called to arrest him had no idea about his criminal record. They didn't even know who he was. When they got the call, somebody was said to be menacing people in front of a store, one of these little convenience stores where Alton Sterling would sell his CDs. Now, the owner of the store where the shooting occurred said Sterling carried a gun. By the way, in the hood in Baton Rouge, you can be doggone skippy that Sterling always carried a gun, but the owner said he noticed the gun about a week before the event that took Sterling's life. And he says other people who had been vending up there selling illegally, but I don't care. That's the way that's called the hustle in the black community. But other people had been robbed at this location doing the same thing because there's always somebody else on a stronger hustle. So while I credit Alton Sterling for saying, you know what, man, I'll make these mixtapes. I'm going to get out here and I'm going to hustle selling these CDs. Good for him. Congratulations. But you know what else he was worried about? He wasn't worried about cops coming and killing him and taking his money. He was worried about brothers who were on a bigger hustle, a stronger hustle, coming to take his money while he worked. So you see how the food chain works in the black community? That was the deal. So Sterling's up there. He's hustling. He's got his gat. That's a gun for you white folks. And the owner of the store says he wasn't causing trouble where the situation occurred where he lost his life. Now, here's the deal. Somebody called. And they said it was an anonymous caller that reported a man was threatening him and waving a handgun while in the process of selling CDs. Now, I don't know whether this was a competitor who was trying to get Alton Sterling off of his corner, off of his spot. Was it somebody who saw that Sterling was armed and said, okay, well, since he ain't going to give up the money, I'm going to let him catch a case? Because Sterling's already a criminal. He probably shouldn't have that weapon. I don't know what the laws of gun ownership is in the state of Baton Rouge. I know my uncle went to prison because he carried a gun from Texas over the state line of Baton Rouge. He was in prison for about 5 years in one of those Louisiana prisons. So, long story short, somebody, not a cop, not a white person, not Donald Trump, called the cops on Alton Sterling while he's vending his CDs with his weapon, a semi-automatic weapon. Most of them are, by the way. And the cops show up to do their job. Now, I want you to understand, I want to put you in the mindset of a police officer right now, particularly since I've made a movie called Bleeding Blue, and I hope you go to Bleeding Blue movie to check it out. They've been called, big black dude, menacing people, waving a gun, and they go to the scene. I want to know what you would do if your phone rang and they said, hey, listen, Kevin, there's a big black dude out here and he's waving a gun at people as they walk by. Can you come do something about it? No, I'm eating. I'm sorry. Bye. Click. I'm not going. But these police officers have to go. So, do you think that they're in a state of higher, tension than if it was, hey, there's a cat in the tree, can you come help us get it out? You follow? So they show up. They say, hey, you see the cops. Alton Sterling sees the cops. They come up. This is 12:35 a.m., folks, at the Triple S Food Mart. He was detained by these police officers, and they tell him, hey, look, we got to question you or whatever. He starts resisting. They tase him at first. They force him to the hood of their car, and then eventually he hits the ground. And he's pinned to the ground by these police officers. One's kneeling on his chest, the other's on his thigh, and they're trying to get control of his arms. Sterling will not cooperate. And I want to set the scene. All around him at this point, you got people starting a video. So you got two cops. I don't know what their races are, but I know one of them was an Italian guy. But they're wrestling with this big black dude. They got him on the ground. They got black folks all around him, videoing with cameras, yelling out and stuff. These cops are saying to Alton Sterling, stop resisting or whatever. And then you can hear one of them in the video. I don't know if you've seen it, but he says, if you effing move, I swear to God, The officer's name is Salamoni. And then the other officer, they says, Lake, he's going for his gun because they can't control his arms. They say he's going for his gun, and sure enough, boom, 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 he shoots him. Now that's the scenario. You tell me what you do. People around you, do you, with all the focus on police officers, do you think somebody's going to try to do something to this guy with everything that's going on and say, well, we're just going to go kill us a black dude? See, this is why we've gotten to a point of ridiculousness in this country. And when I want to come back, I want to talk about this other case. Short break.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.